Hey everyone, it's Barry here. Hope you're well. Welcome to my Virgin Kitchen. Today I am attempting to make homemade mozzarella. I understand there's a couple of different ways of doing it. I've never done it before, and hopefully if I can give it a go and I like it, I should. It's one of the only cheeses I do actually like, and maybe you guys get inspired to give it a go too. You actually need minimalistic things. You need some rennet, which you can get on Amazon. They do like a vegan version as well. I'll put a link down below for that. You also need some citric acid. It arrived literally like this. It looked a bit suspect when I first saw it, but again, that was from Amazon. But there are probably some shops local to you that might sell it, but again, I'll put a link below. You also need milk, a lot of milk. Make sure it's not ultra pasteurized. This is whole milk, the fatty stuff. You need a thermometer. Now this is one of like the proby ones, if you excuse the phrase. So it actually goes in to the cheese later. Don't get that confused with also another handy thermometer. This is a candy one, which is good for like the giant toffee and stuff like that, and burning sugar. You also need some protective gloves. So I went for some marigolds, but then I saw some water resistant ones. So I'm actually gonna double up. Other than that, Homer, apart from salt and pepper and water, which you can get from your tap, H2O is your friend. That's about it. Like I say, I don't really know if this is going to work. I'm just going to give it a go. I'm excited for it. And if it does, I'll make a caprese salad at the end. Mozzarella with you. Cheer up. That's the only mozzarella food pun I've got. If you've got any, let me know down below. Love a food pun. All right, so for this, I'm actually following a recipe on kitchen.com. So I'll leave a link to that. So if this fails, kitchen.com, it's your fault. Right, so first up, we need to do some stuff with our citric acid and the rennet, okay? So we're gonna need cold water. A cup of water in there, which is 236 milliliters, and a quarter of a cup in there, which is 236 divided by 4. I'll put it on the screen right now. Yeah, about 60 mil. So we need 1.5 teaspoons of citric acid in there. All right, just giving that a little stir. All right, and then this one is gonna go our rennet. That's only a quarter of a teaspoon. If we put too much more in, it's probably gonna turn it into concrete. All right, in that goes. And that's all I need from that bottle. I'm gonna have to make a lot more cheese to justify this cost. But hopefully it should, you know, mozzarella ball is quite expensive, so it could make a lot. The postman. You guys love it when I get the postman on camera. Boston and Amy, the next step, you actually need a gallon of milk, which is there. That is a lot of milk, my friends. We're gonna put that into the biggest saucepan I got. If you have a cow, it will be cheaper than buying that. Just milk your cow and get a gallon out of it. This is my big pot, all right? It's gonna do the job. 1 gallon is 4.5 litres. And there's 2.2 litres pretty much, or 2.3 in these. So 2 of them should make pretty much a gallon. That's a lot of milk. Boston, you want some? Excited, boy? Wow. I really wanna make more projects this year like this. I think you're gonna see lots of more homemade stuff like this. I'm enjoying this. All right, so we warm our milk. So we're heating it now, and it needs to get to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So I am actually going to use this thermometer as well. We just gently stir it apparently, whilst it warms. But 90 degrees Fahrenheit isn't that hot. I was supposed to add the citric acid bit as well, so in that goes. All right, now this is cheese. I'm not sure if you can see this, but there is starting to form a few little curds in there. The acid is doing its thing already. See that on the edge of the spoon? So keep your eye on it. Obviously 100 is right there, so I need to go a little bit below it and just guess, really. I'm doubling up my thermometers here, so about 35, yeah, that'll do. All right, I've taken it off the heat. Apparently what we do now is grab the rennet with the water, get in that, and stir it for 30 seconds. 1, 2. 30. So we leave it and don't touch it anymore. Cover the pot and let it sit undisturbed for 5 minutes. Undisturbing you. So basically it should firm up. And if it hasn't firmed up, I just need the lid on a little bit longer. So just while we're waiting for that cheese, I'm going to do a random shout out to one of my Patreon followers, Zoe Robinson. Thanks a bunch, mate. So far so good. I'm finding my homemade cheese making experience brilliant. I had to get a decent cheese pun in. It has thickened up on the top, I'll show you in just a moment. And this process kind of reminds me a teeny weeny bit of the Grana Padano video I did. Although that was on a massive scale. And I was in a beautiful part of Italy Not in my kitchen with a Homer Simpson cardboard cutout keeping an eye on me. I haven't taken the lid off yet. Remember, this is off the heat, so this is literally the first time you're taking the lid off. That still feels quite liquidy to me. I'm going to leave that a lot longer. So right now, I checked it, and 5 minutes, as it says, it should be firm. It's not, but if not, it says to leave it for another 5 minutes. Just for peace of mind, I think I might leave it for 10 or 15. All right, that has been 15 minutes. So, in my mind, if I failed it, it's failed now. But I'm going to carry on anyway. Apparently, what we do is take our knife, put it through... Oh, that's still very watery. But I'm going to keep going, because I feel like we're going to heat it up anyway, so we might get through it. I'm going to cut it through. Someone's just tweeted me and told me I can do this whole thing in the microwave, so I'm feeling great right now. But at the moment, it's reminding me of making marshmallows a little bit. They just look like squared mallows. So you can see I've got the shape there. I'm happy with this. So next we put it back on the heat and warm it to F, 105 degrees Fahrenheit, so a little higher than 100. Stick it back in there. All right. Well, apparently we are supposed to still stir this, and I'm using a spatula just because it's a bit more bendy. When you stir things gently, I don't know, I just prefer the fact that that's a bit more flexible than a wooden spoon. So I am just gonna, yeah, sort of encourage it a little bit. And it's got the yellowy mixture underneath. I feel like we're still progressing. Just gentle stirring. Maybe if I stop now, I've made cottage cheese. Ah. I've just read, it says, try not to disturb them too much and break up the clumps. Well, mine have kind of perished into polystyrene now, but I'm hoping the heat will ultimately increase the separation. Well, I'm getting some big old clumps coming up now. I'm loving this. Right, this is why I've got belief in it. You see that? There's little like, I don't know, a stream, and then all of a sudden the heat is every now and then just forcing, see there's a bit there? The white bits to rise, the curds to rise. There we go. Only little specks, but it's really starting to separate now. We're at just under 100 degrees now. So when it gets to 105, that's a good thing. All right, that is 105 degrees F. I'm turning the heat off. Apparently, we now stir again gently for 5 minutes as it cools down. There are some big old clumps in there hiding away, but I'm just gonna keep stirring as it says. For this next step, the curds and whey are going to be separated. You would normally use a slotted spoon. Can't find ours, so I'm using a sieve. Actually, it might work out better for me considering how small the curds have gone. Oh, and poor man's life hack. If you ever want to go dressed as a fencer, not someone who puts up a garden fence, but like, you know, on guard, just do that. We're going to separate our curds through the sieve, and any of the whey that's left, I'm going to put in these bowls and then keep it in a pan because you can do lots of cool things with it, apparently. For the time being, though, ugh. Oh yeah, we're making cheese. Oh, it smells like cheese. Ugh. Oh, it's going everywhere. Oh, look at those big bits at the bottom. Ah, it's burnt my arm in the pan. Just gonna drain it off. I feel like I'm fishing. Fishing for cheese. It's quite a lot. Apologies if this makes you feel like you need a wee-wee. I really need a wee-wee now. Right, I'm gonna stick that in there just for the minute. Apparently there's loads of things you can do with whey, including soaking grains and culture foods and beans, soaking nuts, making pizza dough for a sourdough kind of vibe. Might have to do that. Making bread, putting it in smoothies, condition your face. Yeah. Pet food? Did I get a bit of whey on the lens? No way! Anyhow, I hate wastage, so it's nice to know there's lots of options to do with that. I think that's better. Hey Barry, did you just make mozzarella cheese? Well, I'm trying to. No way! That's right, it's curds, there's no way. No way! That's right, it's curds, there's no way. Sorry. Just to show you though, even from draining that bit off, there's still loads in there, so... Ugh. Pour that in there. We now microwave it, which will let out even more whey. No way! This is an 800 watt microwave, I'm just gonna go for it. As I say, this should get some more whey out of it. I'm not doing that pun anymore. No way am I doing it. Put my gloves on. I'm only gonna do one arm. These are longer reach marigolds. And then, oh, that's the wrong hand. And it's been a minute. Yeah, I'm doubling up for extra protection. I'm probably being overkill here. I just want to keep one hand free. Yeah. This isn't really for this step. You can get that out with your normal hand, but whoa! Look at all the whey left in there. No way. Conclusion so far, the cost of this is a lot more than a mozzarella ball. But it's looking so far that I'll probably be able to get quite a bit out of it. I'll just stick it right in there. Whey! Let's proper drain it off. Kind of looks like cauliflower. Yeah, it does look like a cauliflower or white brain. We'll go for cauliflower, that's more child friendly. Put on your rubber gloves and fold the curds over on themselves a few times. At this point, the curds will still be very loose and cottage cheese-like. Alright, so this is where my gloves gonna... Oh, this is quite therapeutic. Ah, yeah, I like this. So fold it over on itself. I guess I'm just kind of, because it's the microwave, it's going for the heat in the center. You want to just effectively just mixing it up, but it's holding together quite nicely. I could eat that. I mean, I have eaten worse. Microwave the curds for another 30 seconds and check the internal temperature, which is going to be 135F. 135F is 57.2 degrees C. So we're looking for 57 on there because I haven't worked out how to change it from F to C, if you're wondering, okay? The temperature in the room is 20.8 degrees. Let's go with the 30 seconds for now then, see what happens. Oh, it's upside down, sorry guys. What do we say, 57? You're getting there. 54, 55, it's gonna hit it. Oh, yes! If the temperature has reached that, you can now continue with stretching the curds. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, I might need my other glove for this. Oh no, I nearly went on my phone. And there's still a little bit of moisture at the bottom. I'm gonna drain that off. All right, I drain that off as best I can. Sprinkle the salt over the cheese and squish it with your fingers to incorporate. Oh yeah. I really wanted to do smoked mozzarella. We'll probably do that another time, but I've got some smoked salt. I feel like these gloves are a little bit over excessive, to be honest. When I was in there, I was like, I want proper Doc Brown gloves. We'll see that on the vlog. All right, so this is some smoked salt. It is absolutely insane if you can get it where you live. So it might change the difference a little bit. What's that, half a teaspoon? I'm gonna do a homemade smoker video as well, by the way. Loads of little projects. I'm now gonna get my other glove on, I've decided. And what we do is kind of mix this together, get the salt all in there, and we stretch. Are we stretching? I don't know. It feels good though. I don't really get the stretching thing. And now I can't rotate my phone. I have to try and do it with my nose. Did it? Stretch and fold the curds repeatedly. It will tighten to become firm. I can feel it becoming firm and take on a glossy sheen. When this happens, you are ready to shape the mozzarella. Make one large ball, two smaller balls, or several bite-sized bocconcini. Try not to overwork it. Gonna see you work it, baby. I am kind of stretching it, I think. Oh, I'm getting cheese everywhere on my phone and stuff, but I'm pulling it apart. It is kind of stretchy and elasticated, but then when you put it back together, it does hold as one like that. So like it said, you can now shape it into any way you want. So I'm just gonna make some mozzarella shapes. I guess you could push it into like an ice cube tray if you want to get proper crazy. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I did a quick calculation on my phone, and when you deduct the cost of the rennet and the citric acid, if you keep it, it would be slightly cheaper in the long run to make your own. So maybe give it a try. This is going in the fridge. Apparently you need to eat it almost immediately on the same day. But if you put it with a teaspoon of salt and a little bit of the whey left over, it can refrigerate for up to a week. Yes, dogs can have whey, but before they do, I'm gonna try it myself. Oh my gosh, that's weird. Tastes a little bit like coconut water mixed with yogurt mixed with a sewer. I'm sure the dogs will like it though. Stay. Go. You got a bowl there. Mozzarella ball, tomato slices, extra virgin olive oil, basil, my nickname. Basically, we're gonna make a quick caprese salad. Just scatter our tomatoes around. Oh, guts are missing in that one. Some basil leaves. Our mozzarella, amazing. That'll do. Extra virgin olive oil on top. Oh yeah. And then some pepper. Some bloke in Italy showed me that when I was over there, how simple. That's basically all he did, so let's try it. Do you know what? I know what tomato and basil taste like. I'm going to have some of my mozzarella with a little oil on it, a little bit of pepper. Oh my gosh. That is so creamy. It tastes super fresh. I'm not going to tell you it was amazingly easy, and I probably could have made it smoother, which is why if you guys give it a go, it'll look even better than mine. But it is really, really good. I love that. So there we go, all done. Hopefully it's inspired you guys to give it a go. That's why I basically have continued to do this. Send me a picture at My Virgin Kitchen if you do try it. I'd love to see it. Any other cool projects you've got in mind you'd like me to see, both particularly in the kitchen and maybe outside, let me know as well. And don't forget to subscribe for regular recipes, lifestyle without the style, and food fun. All right, I'll see you later. Seriously though, try it.